Hey everyone, so Chef, welcome back to Uma. Today we are taking on our long team trials runner. This is going to be our last replacement for our initial 5 team trials team. So we're going to be building, probably not gold chip. I've got some other plans, but there are 2 agenda items that I want to take care of before we get started. The first one is that Zandok left a comment on the last YouTube video about just how important the event card is from the current event that's running. So if we're watching this series concurrently, uh, I already said in the last video, I think there's really, no downside to grabbing all the SSRs, but apparently this is going to be a strong card in the next scenario. So I'm not looking super far ahead. I'm just playing the game as it's in front of me. But if future-proofing your account is something that you care about, this is probably one to look into. And the particular reason is that there's an interaction between race bonus and a card's value in the upcoming scenario. So even though there's no specialty priority here, if we pop over to Game Torah on our handy dandy compare tool, we can see that Marvelous Sunday actually has a 15% race bonus after you factor in the unique effect where you get the friendship bonus and race bonus. And then if we head over here to the database and we look at the supports that we have and we sort by race bonus descending, there's actually only one SR card in the entire game that has a race bonus that high. So for the next scenario, for stacking maximum race bonuses for whatever that's going to do in the next scenario's mechanics, this Marvelous Sunday is going to be a card to keep an eye on. Might be something that you try and grind out if you're concerned about being able to hit the 400,000 point threshold in the course of your regular play. The other thing that I wanted to show off is how important stamina thresholds are in team trials. So for the mile and sprint runners that we've put together so far, we've talked a little bit about stamina, and for the Daiwa Scarlet run that we did last time, which I don't think totally came together, I talked in that run about how I'm not at the stam threshold for mediums. Sorry, forgot to close Game Torah. There we go. So despite the fact that we're not at the stam threshold, you might notice that like in career, we're winning races, and then in team trials, it looks like we're doing fairly well. The reason for that is because races are different lengths. So when you're building a team trials team, or at least when I'm trying to build a team trials team, my philosophy is generally give me a runner that can complete the longest distance race that they may encounter. For a medium distance runner, that's going to be a 2400 meter track. And so what I want to do, just to try and show this off, is run a few team trials until I draw into the 2400 mile or the 2400 meters specifically, and then see how the performance of our Daiwa Scarlet looks relative to the other runners that we have. And if I have to burn a little bit of training power juice, that's fine. This is also just going to be nice for getting our team trial stuff done. But let's see if we can draw into a 2400 meter medium. And ideally, let's see if we can find somebody who hasn't outstammed it. This one's only 2000. It's not really going to be good enough for us. We definitely have enough stamina to finish the 2000s. Our stamina for the 2400s is a little dubious. But I want to see if we can run into somebody else who has even worse stam than us so that I can show just how big the difference is when you miss your stam thresholds. This one's also 2000. Son of a... I mean, we can just run team... If I don't get a 2400 in the next one, I'll pause the video and I'll draw into one. So that we have the 2400 specifically unlock. We also have a ton of money right now, so I'm just going to start buying star pieces. We might be able to unlock some new trainees. We might be able to upgrade some of our trainees to 3-star and get to play around with their uniques. We'll see. We'll just go ahead and use some of our carrot jellies. Show me the 2400. Please show me the 2400 because this person does not have good medium runners. Yes, okay. So check this out. We'll run the race. Get this finished. We win the 2400. Let's go and actually examine why. Because this 2400 meter race is a very long race. So if we go into our race details, ignore the shop. If we go into our race results and we look at the medium, we won by distance over every single other one of these runners. And if we scroll all the way down to find the Fs, I mean, they haven't really used like any. Okay, it's, you know what? It's not a good example. I'm not sure what those runners are exactly doing. Maybe those are just slotted in as placeholders. I'm going to pause the video and try and find a 2400 meter where I have real opponents so that I can show off why stamina matters. So I'll catch you guys on the other end of that. All right, I'm back and I found a perfect one. You don't want to know how many training juices I've used to find myself a 2400 where this worked. So here's our Daiwa, right? 800, 700, 500, 400, 400. With a couple white recovery skills, lost by 8 lengths to raise Mejiro McQueen and Agnes Tachyon. Why is that? It's because here we have a 675 stamina, which is about where our Daiwa is. It's a little lower, but this Mejiro has 3 blue recoveries instead of our 2, which is like an extra 50 to 75 stamina. And then this Agnes Tachyon has a blue, but a unique recovery skill, which is functionally a gold stamina skill, and they're at 620. So despite the fact that their speed is about where mine is, their power is about where mine is, you know, these are roughly similar runners. It's not an 8-length difference runner. The difference here is that our Daiwa actually does not have enough stamina to finish these very, very long medium races. And in this case, we lost to a McQueen that has slower speed. So stamina is your biggest determinant in whether you can actually finish lengths of a given, or races of a given distance. And in this case, this die was not quite there, which means she's going to be a long ways behind other people at the 2400s. And then she's going to be a long ways ahead of all of these NPC runners that are nowhere close to the stamina threshold that they need. For mediums, you're aiming for around 800 and a gold, closer to 900 to 1000 if you don't have a gold. And for longs, which we're going to get into when we set up our career here later today, the sky's the limit. 1200 stamina, so fully capping stamina, and then 2 golds on top of that is ideally where you wind up. Because, well, the medium races are between 2000 to 2400, and the miles are between 1600 to 1800. The long races can be anywhere from 2500 to 3600 meters, which is a very, very, very long race. So there's 2 ways that you can think about building your team trials team. Number 1 can be you can build very fast runners that don't have the stamina to complete long races, and you can just hope that in your team trials lobby you draw into a lobby that has 5 short races, and then you'll be fine. You'll outrun everybody who's building longer stamina runners, but you'll suffer in the longer distance races. The other way that you can build your team trials team, and this is the way that I prefer, but I don't necessarily know if one way is better than the other, is you can build for maximum stamina, so that you can try and outstam other racers and win by distance, 8, 9 lengths, something like that, so that you get extra points out of actually winning that match. I feel like that is the better approach. It's the approach that I've tended to use, and it's an approach that gets me results. But these are things that you can play around with when you're thinking about how you want to design your team trials team. So in terms of what we're going to be working on today, we are going to try and build a runner that can take on some of those nightmare long distance races. And we have a very specific strategy that we're going to use for that. We have a goal in mind every time we click career. Our goal is going to be using one of our 2 runners that have a unique recovery skill rather than a unique velocity skill. So Agnes Tachyon recovers endurance and increases velocity. Super Creek straight up just recovers endurance. Both of these runners are going to be really well suited to running medium and long distances because they have built-in recovery in their kit. So we're going to run with Creek. I don't really see a lot that I need to shore up here. We have Turf A, Dirt G. We don't expect her to run any dirt races. We have Medium A, Long A, Mile G. We don't expect her to run any mile races. We've got Pace A, Late B, but I don't really feel like I need to make a Late Surger Super Creek. So what we're going to do with our Sparks instead is we're going to look for stamina, and we're going to filter on only people who have stamina Sparks. So we've got this Bakshin that has a 2-star stamina. That's lovely. We don't care about front runner. We don't care about sprint. We care a little about medium, but it's not why we're taking it. We're taking it for the 2-star stamina. And then for our other runner, Gulchip only has a 1-star stamina, Let's look deeper in our inheritance tree and see if we can find anything better. Our vodka, not great. Our scarlet, not great. And we definitely don't need mile, although a corner recovery hint is kind of nice. We could maybe pick up corner recovery off of one of our inspiration events and get a hint towards a decent recovery skill, which kind of pushes me towards taking scarlet here, ignoring potentially what affinity bonuses might look like. It's actually the best affinity choice regardless. So we're going to go ahead and take this. We're doing this specifically to get as much stamina as we can, and then also potentially get a corner recovery hint out of Daiwa herself. Now, as far as deck goes, first of all, this power card needs to go. We simply don't have the luxury of running power cards for a long distance runner right now with our cards such as they are. In between the last video and this one, I also played through the second story chapter, which got me a copy of the SSR Rice Shower Stamina card. It's okay. It's not amazing. You do get some specialty priority out of it, but the big thing that you get out of Rice specifically is a chance to get a gold recovery skill in Adrenaline Rush. And then similarly with McQueen, we did this comparison with Vodka last time, or with Daiwa Scarlet last time. We decided that Measure O is not as good as the rest of the gold stamina cards that we had, but again, in this case, we have a chance to get a gold recovery skill for running Measure O as well. Because of those hints specifically, even though these are worse cards statistically, I am going to bring both of them. So we're going to bring McQueen, and then also, as we saw in the Daiwa Scarlet video last time, Mayano's friendship, her starting friendship being 0, is just such an obstacle to actually getting to her rainbow trainings and having her give you stats that I'm happy to replace her with Rice Shower here. If you don't have either of these, next best card is probably like Tosin Jordan, but for this specific poll, we really did not get a lot to work with stamina-wise. And it's kind of just we're using what we've got here, even though none of these options are super ideal. We're also a long ways away from our next pull. We're only at 8,300 carats right now. I don't plan on pulling again until I hit 30k, so I'm curious to see if this deck is going to be good enough to actually get us to the point where we can build a halfway decent long runner. And we'll see. So what are we working with now that these are leveled? We've got Friendship Bonus 15, but there's more Friendship Bonus baked into the unique perk. Mood Effect 40 is pretty nice. We have some initial Friendship Gauge, that's good. Spec Priority 20 is pretty putrid. We're not really excited about that, but at least it's not 0. For McQueen, we've got Friendship Bonus 25, Mood Effect 20, a little bit of Stamina Bonus and Initial Stamina from her perk, and then Specialty Priority 35, which is, again, not great. If we come over here and look at Cafe, we've got 35 in addition to the Training Effectiveness and Specialty Priority, so I think this is closer to 55. But we're bringing them for a chance at gold recovery skills because that's how important stamina is when you're a long runner. And then we're going to borrow Kito-san, because you always borrow Kito-san if you don't have it. So that's going to be our career. Jump in. We'll see where we wind up. In terms of prioritizing stats when you're building a long runner, you can't just have like 200 speed and then 1200 stamina. I'm going to try and keep them roughly equal. So if I could wind up at 800 speed, 800 stamina, I think that would be pretty good. That's about where I would want to wind up. But we'll see how things come together over the course of the run. We've got a 2-2-1-1-0. I'm happy to build friendship here and take the hint. Even though technically we want to be training stamina more, I would rather build friendship immediately. We're already getting hints for recovery skills, which is great. This is a wonderful stamina opportunity to get an extra hint out of Rice Shower. And then I would love to fix mood on this turn if the spirit trainings are not great. Spirit training isn't incredible. None of these trainings are incredible. That looks like a fantastic turn to take off for recreation. Even more spirit training options. Got a 2-1, a 0-1, a 2-1, and a 1-1. I think I'm okay taking speed here, although I'm a little concerned about energy. We can take one good training if we see it, and then we're forced into resting, but we'd really like to be looking at wits here for the next couple turns if training doesn't manifest. Sure. 2-1. Wow, that's a really good power training. I think I have to gamble on that. I didn't think I'd be this low on energy. I wish I'd taken wit last turn. If I fail this, I'm going to be disappointed. Thank God. What an outstanding training. And now we can just rest. I'm A-okay forcing myself into a rest on that turn because of just how good that training was. In fact, is it possible we could train this turn again? Oh, absolutely we can. Okay, sure. That's a really lucky energy roll. But I would happily take a wit here. We already have Kitasan to Rainbow, which is really impressive, but this is not a stunning speed training. It's 2 Unity. It's 9% to fail. I'd rather take just about anything else at this point. I know that Biko's friendship is really hard to work with, so even though this is a very unimpressive wit training, I'm going to take this wit because it means I can train next turn and then I can take a rest. I don't feel like I have to rest on that turn specifically. Oh, okay, I'll just take 10 free energy from Rico too, that's fine. Single rainbow with no spirit training means we're not taking that. Double spirit training, double friendship, single spirit training, single friendship. That's looking like a stamina angle to me. Sure. That's also looking like a stamina angle to me. 11% is riskier than I would like. But again, it's a really good training. I would gamble on that again. Let's take some risks. Okay, let's not take risks anymore because I'm getting away with a lot in this run so far. We've already got our hint for Professor of Curvature. If I have the skill points to spend on that, I would be really excited to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there, though. It's okay, so it's a single rainbow with no one else there. It really does not build stats very well, but it does put Kita-san to the point where she can Spirit Burst. Versus no, maybe, definitely not, maybe. There's a world where you could take the wit here, and I don't think it would be wrong, but I like the idea of getting Kita-san to Spirit Burst early to see if it's actually possible for us to win our first round of a Unity Cup for a change. So the earlier we can get stats into her, the more excited we are. Got debut race. I feel like training's gone fine. Your debut is never a long race, so we don't have to worry about long corners. We don't have to worry about passing pro. Highlander's acceleration on an uphill, that's not really something I'm interested in. Flustered Pace Chasers I'm not interested in, and I can't afford corner adapt. We're not going to be buying anything here. We're just going to run into the junior debut itself. We'll watch the debut just to make sure we don't have any issues with our training. And then after that, we'll get into some race skipping. What am I worried about, if anything? Power's a little suspect right now. A late start is also not great. We'll see if she can claw that back. I mean, we're not running her front, so it's probably fine. God, it was a really bad late start. Look at how far back she is relative to the other pace chaser. If anything, I'm worried about power. I'm worried about her ability to jump off the line in late race. We're going to be building this Super Creek to survive races, not necessarily to win them, because especially in our early team trial stages, nobody else around us is going to be doing that. If we have a Super Creek that hits, 800 stam and has an innate gold and then has one other gold from either of our support cards, we're actually in great shape to have that just be a runner that can survive any long race she wants. And I think most other people, until we get up to like class 5 or class 6 for team trials, are probably not going to be doing that. But what that means in the short term is much like the Daiwa Scarlet career we had last time, we're going to be making some sacrifices to speed and power that may cost us results that we want in a race. There's a lot of distance to close to that front runner right now. We'll see if she can put it together. I'd really rather not lose the debut. It's not run ending, but it is an annoyance because it means you have to run one extra race. I don't think she's got the top speed to catch right now. No, maybe she does. Yeah, she does. Okay. We're good. That's closer than I would like it to be, but we're good. So let's see what else we've got in store for us here. We'll switch over to agenda now that we have the agenda unlocked. Corner recovery hint versus 15 skill points and guts. So do I trust that Daiwa Scarlet to give me a corner recovery hint? Not really, honestly. I think I would be fine taking corner recovery here because it unlocks the skill. So that I know that we can buy it. And then if we get it from Daiwa, fine. A stamina burst is okay. I guess it is where we want it. I'm just worried about speed. I think we're only ever going to burst on speed and stamina this run and never look at anything else unless it's a really good wit burst. It also bumps Rice to spirit burst herself, and none of these other trainings are good. My only other option for this turn would be resting, and it's not even that good of a rest turn. So I'll take the stamina. I'll put myself super deep in an energy hole, but it's getting our spirit bursts online early so that we have a better shot at leveling up our facilities early and then also doing well in the early Unity Cup rounds. I wish I could take you. I really do. But 34% is too steep of a risk for me to accept for that training. That is a great training, though. That's also a pretty good training. We're not taking that. That's okay for friendship building, but we're not building friendship right now. We're not even into classic year. We're all about spirit training right now. And even though this is a single spirit training, we're also getting some free speed out of it. We're also working on Biko's friendship because we know that she's problematic. We might get even more hints for like long corners out of Kita-san. That would be nice. Corner adapt hint. That's also beautiful. I love that. There might be a chance that we can buy Professor of Curvature in this run. Would really like to take Wit here if I can. I don't think that Guts is worth a 17% fail rate, and none of these have Spirit trainings on them, so this is a fine turn to just spin my wheels on Wit for a bit. It continues to work on Biko. It might make our next training failure-proof. It doesn't, but we're not taking that Guts. I don't really want to take any of these. So it seems like a fine turn to either Wit or full rest. I'd rather Wit and get Cafe up. Because Cafe getting to Rainbow would be really nice, and we could always hit energy events in our between turns anyway. Single Spirit versus double Spirit. That really is unkind to our energy versus a Guts Burst that I'm not going to take. I think we're just going to keep spinning wheels on Wit here. They're not good Wit trainings, but they're not really good other trainings, and at least we're building our Wit a bit. So, team name. I actually forgot that I could do this. We're including Rice Shower in our deck, which means that we can pick a special team name with Rice available. Your team name controls the guaranteed hint that you get at the end of the run. So we've been taking Team Carrot so far, which is why we've been getting Nimble Navigator every single time we finish a career. If we take Blue Bloom, actually we might not have been because we haven't been winning the Unity Cup. If we win the Unity Cup and we take Blue Bloom, we actually get a hint for another gold recovery skill. I think it's cooldown, but don't quote me on that, and there will be a link in the video description for what skill you get for each team name. But at any rate, if this does finally manage to be the run where we win our first Unity Cup, I would love to have another gold recovery skill as a guarantee. In terms of this training, let's fire off Rice's Burst. I wish it were on speed instead of stamina. but I'd rather just bank the Spirit Burst now. And then we're really looking to either rest or wit this turn. If it's a good wit, we'll take wit. If it's a bad wit, we'll probably just rest. That's an okay speed. It's an okay stamina. Bad power, bad guts, bad wit. I'm fine resting on this turn. Plus 50 is beautiful. Mood down is fine. We'll find another mood up somewhere else in here. That's a decent stamina. Bad power. Real bad speed. Mediocre wit. We're almost full on energy. I'm happy to build friendship here. It's a good friendship building opportunity that also works on spirit training at the same time. Go ahead and jump on that. Early lead is not something we need. We're not a front runner, so we'll just be taking stamina and guts. It's again an okay stamina, pretty bad guts, pretty bad wit, pretty bad everything else. I'll take the stamina here again, although I'm really getting worried about my speed now. My speed specialty priority is not manifesting the way that I would like it to. Got 1 on power, 2 on guts. I don't think that's worth it. None on speed, 1 on wit. This actually seems like a good recreation turn to get back to great. And then we can either race late December because we've got the hopeful stakes, or we could train and we could make sure we spend some energy going into the new year. So this is fine for recreation. We're back up to great mood. We'll take stamina here because we want more stamina. We'll take speed here because I'm concerned about speed. So let's shore that up. I want to try and keep speed and stamina about equal here, and we're definitely imbalanced right now. So let's try and pull that back a little bit. This is a fine power training. It's an okay speed training. I'm a little suspicious of my power actually allowing me to win the hopeful stakes if I run it this turn. It is a G1, and I just don't think our stats are there. We haven't had crazy trainings. I also don't need it for my goal, so I'm actually gonna skip the race, even though that's not a great training session. If the RNG on this run was a little better, though, I would happily take the hopeful stakes on that turn. Take a look at our team, make sure it's not doing anything weird. The biggest thing I want to make sure of here is that Rice and Kita-san have both done a Spirit Burst already. I don't want them on the same team. I want to try and get one of you onto Mile, but I don't think either of you can do it. This is going to be a really ropey first Unity Cup. Let's see, how can I shift these around? Cafe has to stay on long. I can switch McQueen and Kita-san. And I can have that look fairly normal. So we've got a D on medium. We have an E on long. As long as we win these two, we just need to like draw or win any 2 of the other 3 and we're fine. But this is not like really ideal. We also don't need to buy skills because I'm not actually expecting Creek to win her own race. I'm expecting Kita-san to, so we'll see. This is probably going to be like 2 double circles and 3 X's if I had to guess. Wow, okay, it doesn't even think we're that hot in mediums. And it thinks we're great in sprints for some reason? Sure. Is it possible? Do we win our first Unity Cup round? No, we draw. One of these days, man. One of these days. One of these days, we're going to start off on a better foot. Just you wait. Just you wait and see. I'll happily take 20 energy. Unity Cup, man. Frickin'. It's a good stam training. It's a crazy guts training. You would never not take this. That's insane. Where were you junior year? And then a burst on power? That's actually another good guts training. The speed training's underwhelming. I don't really want to burst on power, but our power was low enough last year that it actually kept us from running a race. Maybe it's not the worst idea to get it to like 200 and then just keep working on speed. It also helps build our stam a little bit. I think I'm okay with that. It's a little questionable. Maybe that burst would have actually been better on speed specifically, but... We're up to D. This is going to be a rest. There's nothing else it could be. This has to be a rest. It's really sad. That's really, really sad. We're very disappointed to see that training. We're very disappointed to see that mood down. This feels like it's potentially not the run. But we'll stick with it. Let's buy Adept, just because I'm a little scared of the amount of speed that we have right now. And also, Curvature's not getting any cheaper. Just buy Curvature. You know what? Fine. You worried about your speed? Just give yourself great velocity skills. Can't skip it, so we're going to have to watch it. I continue to think that power is the biggest problem we have right now, but this is only an open, so what's the worst that could happen? A late start is a good beginning to the worst that could happen, but as a pace chaser, it shouldn't be fatal. We only need to get one good curvature proc, and then we're right back in this. We actually could just naturally recover our position. So far, so good. Would love to see... Well, you know what? Actually, would I love to see Maestro here? Because we're at risk of getting a pace down here. In fact, I think that's the pace down kicking in now. I think we're too close to that front runner. I'd rather see Maestro, like, starting now. Or, not Maestro, Curvature. I'd rather see Professor of Curvature starting, like, now. Because pace down is over. A unique is fine. We probably don't need that recovery, but we'll take it anyway. We definitely don't want to see Curvature, like, right now. Because it's going to be... Well, we get a little value out of it. But then this is acceleration now. This is going to be our weakest point, because we don't accelerate the way that I would like us to, but it looks like it's good enough to beat up on a ton of NPC runners in an open. So... yeah, it's going to be more than enough. But I'm still worried about the way that we look in like a G1 race. If I could get one good burst on speed, I think I'd be feeling a lot better. We'll see if that's something that we can manifest here in the next couple turns. Under the Weather. So this is a unique event that only Creek has. And this is actually a good opportunity to walk through how you can check stuff like this. So if we go to full stats, Creek has this condition called Under the Weather. Some unknown issues bring your mind and body down. Greatly increased chance of failing training until fall. We are well above the training threshold. We still have a 2% fail rate on all of our trainings. And that's going to be a debuff that we carry with us all the way through the rest of Classic Year. It's just part of her career. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you want to know how to plan for this kind of stuff, if we head back to everybody's favorite useful resource, Gametora, there is a training event helper tool that you have. So if we plug in our trainee as Super Creek, and we head down here to look at all of her events, we can see after the Sumair Stakes, she gets this Under the Weather status. After the Kikuka show, as long as we win it, she heals it, and then she gets Shining Brightly, which is a decreased chance of failing training. It's basically like getting practice perfect. So if you're looking to plan for those kinds of things for a trainee that you've never run before, it might be useful to pop over to Gametora, open up the training event helper, and just see what kind of stuff is going on in the career. There's other secret events that I'm not necessarily going to spoil for now, but just for the sake of the under the weather condition that she has, that's not something that you can infirmary away. It's not something that is bad RNG. It's scripted, and it's something that you're just meant to deal with as part of her career. So getting back into training, we have a decent speed training here that does a lot of spirit training for us. We have a pretty bad stamina, pretty bad power. We also have an okay wit. We're picking between wit and speed here. I could go either way on it. Matsukane's already gotten her burst off, so we're building two of them. But in terms of getting closer to a spirit burst, Biko and McQueen are about in the same spot. I think I'm leaning slightly towards speed because I would just like to keep building this friendship. The earlier I get more rainbow speed trainings online, the happier I'm going to be. Stamina really feels like it's taking care of itself right now. So we'll roll a speed here. And from now until the Kikuku show, we're just crossing our fingers and hoping we don't fail trainings. It's a 2% chance every single turn, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're also looking to fix our mood, which is going to be a problem that carries with us as well here. That guts training is okay. This power training is okay. But none of these are phenomenal. It actually seems like an alright turn to take off for recreation. Let's just fix it now, and karaoke's a great way of fixing it. And then we'll pop into our inspiration. We'll see if we can get some more hints for corner recovery. Oh, just a mountain of stats. It's actually plus 8 power from that is pretty decent. In terms of the inheritances that we have. It's a bad inheritance all around, but in terms of what we could potentially get, it's not that bad. So we can wit here. It's really not good. We can guts here. It's really not good. We could stam here. We don't really need to. This feels like potentially a race. Although I don't have the fans for the Satsuki show. That is disastrous. I really would have liked that to be my plan today, was to run the Satsuki show. But we don't have 4,500. So we're just going to run an... Am I going to run an open, man? Not at this energy. I should not run an open at this energy. We do need to find like a G2 to race, though. We should be looking at either of these next turn. Let's do a wit today and hope the training next turn isn't that good so that we can fix our fan issue. Maybe I should have turned... Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, I think now we infirmary. I need to find another race to run here soon, though. We could try this. Let's book you in. Let's hit the infirmary this turn to get rid of migraine. Beautiful. Let's make sure we don't have an insane training this turn. That's pretty close to what I would consider an insane training. We get a hint out of Biko. We push King Halo to Spirit Burst. We don't have unlimited time until we get to our next Unity Cup round. What else could I be running? Nothing. A G3 wouldn't be bad. So what do these turns look like? You're taking power here. You're looking to take like a wit next turn. You're racing June, and then you're racing June early and resting June late. I think that seems fine. I'd rather take that training than the G2. I think that's a good training. It does a lot for us. We're in an awkward spot here, though. I would love to take energy. You have a rainbow stamina, a bad speed, a halfway decent power. That guts is not worth it. Let's book you in for now, because you're technically more fans. We're going to take this power training, run a race, and then rest. No fail. Beautiful. Please just don't show me like a great burst. A burst on stamina, I'm so fine skipping that. These are not good trainings. I want that burst to go to speed or maybe power. This is a great turn to take off and race. No skip available. I think that's because we haven't trophied this one yet. We should be fine in a G3. We don't have a bad stat line right now. I don't know where my speed is coming from, because it feels like I haven't trained on speed at all this run. But we have some. Like, it's not that far behind our stamina, and our stamina's in a pretty good spot. Mid-race is not kind to us right now. Curvature would be good. Good curvature. Let's see if you can jump ahead of some people with that. Good. Not good enough to get the pass done, which is unfortunate. That may have actually been a pace down. Everybody's really close to the front runners right now. I think as soon as that curvature ended, we hit a pace down. So pace down is over now. We're working our way past a Mihono Bourbon that should not be that far back. She's supposed to be a front. Are these all front runners at the front? I should have checked before we jumped into the race, but this might be like a 5 or 6 front runner pool. This is still where our power is going to be a problem. Second is fine. I think we can catch first. It's going to be a bit of a run. I don't see anybody coming from the back who looks really scary. It looks like we'll be able to pull away, but again, it's just a G3. Like, we have not run competitive races yet. We've basically been smurfing in, like, low instance lobbies and just barely pulling through, so I'm a little concerned about where we're at. I'll gamble on energy. We're resting next turn anyway. I love to see a -5. Now, so you could give me a 50, or if you could give me a 70 specifically now. Was Deep Breath the gold that we wanted? No, it's a white. We would like this to be a good rest. It's a good rest. Okay. Our luck is returning to us. If we can make it through summer break without failing trainings, I think we're in a really nice spot. We've got a roster that's full of D rank runners. I don't think there's any shifts we need to make here. We also drew the last round, so like the next 2 rounds should be gimmies. Because the game thinks our matchmaking is a lot lower than it should be with the team that we've got. There's an easy 5-0. Give me my stats, give me my level ups. And then show me some good trainings. That's interesting. I would really rather this be a speed training. I'd really rather this be a speed training. But I know I need to work on friendship for both of them. And I also know this is really going to help us level our facilities up. I think I would take it still. I'm disappointed that's not on speed, but I think that's still fine. Probably. Speed, please. Please? Please, thank you. Good training, no fail. We want a wit here, and then we want to take 1 more training. I can't risk that. I want to take that, but I can't risk that. It's also a bad wit. I'll just rest now if it's all the same to you. And then one good speed rainbow too much to ask? 1 double rainbow, because Kita-san and Halo are both ready for it? No. Stamina. A pretty productive wit that also preserves energy. I don't mind that. It works on Biko too. I think that's good. It's an okay summer break. I wish that we had had a good wit training early August, because then we would have trained all 4 turns. Taking that 1 rest was a little unfortunate, but it gives us a better energy buffer coming into the back half of the year. It's a really nice stamina training. That's also a really nice power training. Huh. This is an interesting one. So my heuristic is usually the more spirit trainings, the better. Independent of anything else that's going on, unless you're choosing between a bad spirit training and a really good stats training. This is a really good stats training. It works on McQueen's friendship. It works on Biko's friendship. We're getting stats out of Cafe for it. We're building Kita-san stats, and there's 4 supports here, so we're getting a pretty decent bump from like mood effect. I think this is the rare circumstance where I would actually just take attributes over working on Spirit Burst progress. That's just a really efficient training that does a lot of things for us. It also, Ibiko is now online, so we have potential triple rainbow speed trainings. Imagine, though. Imagine if it was. Alas. This is still a fine stamina. It's just the best spirit training we have available on this turn. And well, our speed would be nice to get a little higher, and our stamina is, like, higher than we'd like it to be. I think we still take this training. And we just need to survive one more turn until we hit and ideally win Kikukusho and fix our potential disastrous training outcomes. It's a 10% on another pretty good stamina. Bad wit, bad guts, average to bad power, bad speed. Man, I want to take this again. I shouldn't. This should just be wit. But it progresses your McQueen's friendship. It gives you a King Halo hint, which could be more corner recovery. And it levels Biko up. If you fail it, you're going to be really disappointed with yourself. But that's not a good wit training. Be honest with yourself. Okay, thank God. We're high rolling a bit on training failures right now. That's 3 10% that we've passed. We're kind of on borrowed time. You can't get lucky on those forever. Alright, let's go win the Kikukusho and get rid of this failed training debuff. This is a long race, so we can buy long corners now, finally. I don't think I need any of this other stuff. I really don't feel like we need stamina. We're at 450 and we have a built-in recovery, so practically we're probably like 550 to 600 even. That should be more than enough for the Kikukusho. Speed and power are kind of where I would like them to be. It would be nice if we had speed at 400, but you kind of just make do with what you've got. We have 1 front runner and then 4 other pace chasers. Let's keep this in mind for figuring out how positioning looks. And we're number 1 favorite. We've done everything we can. There goes Bourbon, so that's the front runner in the race. We're fine as the leading pace chaser. Rushed, it honestly does not matter. There's no way that we're gonna run out of stamina. And this is a big enough gap that we shouldn't really have to worry about pace down too much. It's not like we're right on her tail, metaphorically and literally speaking. Although we're really closing that gap. This is going to be a pace down. We're going to get pace down here very soon. That looks, well, maybe not. We're still closing the distance. But then so is everybody else. Hey, we don't have much longer to wait, honestly. Alright, that's the pace down. But that may have been the last pace down before we get into the next phase of the race. I think we're over halfway now. We could trigger long corners here, which would help us actually secure the overtake. And we have 1,000,000 miles before we're even at late race. Yeah, just close the gap up. Also, trigger your unique. Because you did rush earlier. And I'm kind of assuming that that was going to go off. It might not go off. We may be too far up to trigger it. Okay, well, just hold on until the end then. Hopefully you didn't rush too badly earlier in the race, because now I am a little concerned about your stamina. Your power should be fine. Oh god, who's 17? That is closing up real fast. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's a gold ship. This is going to be a little dicey. So Gold Ship is usually an end closer. I don't know what she is in this race. She's going to have a much higher top speed than me in this race. And in fact, I think she's already in front. She is. Holy cow, we're going to be like third. I think we may have run out of stam at the end there. Huh. Yeah, I don't think our stamina power was quite where it needed to be, and also we got too far ahead too early, and that may have cost us our unique activation. So I think this heal... Oh, we still get Shining Brightly. Excuse me? Did we not have to win? Game Tora? Did you lie to me? What was the name of that event? Let's go check the log. After the Kikuko show, on a clear... On a clear. Is it just not listed? It might just not be listed. Maybe you see it and I don't, and I'm blind. But I'm not seeing it here. At least it cleared our status condition, and at least we also get our Shining Brightly out of it. So we are no longer carrying that same risk to fail training, and we in fact have a slight reduction to our chance of failing a training. But we have a problem to solve here, which is that we are miles off of our fan threshold for the Arima Kinan. So there is a G1 here. If we win the QE2 Cup, we're set. There's a G1 here that we don't have fans for. Oh my god, we have to run in the QE2 Cup today. We can't do anything else. Otherwise, we'd have to win the Stayers Stakes, which is a nightmare distance race. Because the Andromeda Stakes is not going to do it. We have to run the QE2 this turn. Do I have skills that I can buy? I'm concerned. Would I buy Winter Runner? I guess. It is winter, I think. You could have checked that. It's fall. This Super Creek run is not going as well as I thought it would be. I need you to either not rush or trigger your unique, and then also manifest a victory for me here. I think it's given that if we lose this race, we probably lose the career. I think it's only fair that we watch it. I want to know where it's gone wrong. So far, so good. I don't mind getting passed by pace chasers. That's a problem we can fix later. One Professor of Curvature also puts us like right back into this race. We're almost at the point where pace down turns off, although we're not at risk of triggering any pace downs at all. It's also really scary that that's a frontrunner Saiyan Sky. Because she's going to hit an acceleration unique at the end of this race. If we take like second, this is loser mentality and I shouldn't be thinking like this, but if we take second, we could maybe still get to 9k if we run in that open that's in early December. But let's just win instead. She is pretty badly in traffic here. Just don't get blocked. Oh my god. Okay, this is bad. That's a really nasty block. So she's stuck behind a bunch of other people who just did not have enough stamina to finish the race. She just now got around them, but it's wasted her whole acceleration phase. Which means all of these other runners at the front have had so much time to build velocity, and she hasn't been able to. This is going to be really bad. This is going to be really, really bad. 7th is not where we want to be here. It's only 1,200 fans. Oh boy. When we have to rest this turn because we're not out of energy. No, we're not. Sorry, I know the event. Was that enough to get us in the Japan Cup? Nope. So we could take the Andromeda Stakes. Is there nothing? Oh, there's the stayers. Okay, so we literally have to win the stayers. We need to rest this turn. Can I afford corner recovery? It's a good stamina recovery. Cannot afford corner recovery. Cannot afford passing pro. I mean, we're gonna have to... There's no other option but to run the stayers. Tazuna thinks we'll be fine. But this, if this race pops up in team trials, it's one of the races that you need 1,202 golds for. In career, you get a buff of 450 to all of your attributes. And also, we don't necessarily need enough stamina to finish the race. We need enough stamina to beat the other runners in the race. So even if we don't have enough, as long as we have more than the NPCs, we're still fine. I'm not even going to mention the late start. I'm blind to it. This is good positioning for a pace chaser. We're only now transitioning to mid-race because of how long the Stayer Stakes is. I'm going to fast forward to late race because I think this race is actually like 4 minutes long. Okay, I think everybody else died. That is a lead and a half. I don't think the NPC runners have enough stamina to finish this race specifically. This also keeps us alive in the career, which is really, really nice. I thought that it was all over after that QE2 Cup. But instead we'll just win the Stayers by distance, and that should be more than enough fans. Okay, we're good. We're through by the slimmest of margins, but we're good. We could even, if we wanted to, buy corner recovery here. These are actually crazy recovery hits for us right now. I don't think we need the stamina, and I don't think I want to buy a second rank of long corners for velocity. Let's send it on the Arima and just see how we do. It's Winter Runner, so we're going to get the speed benefit from it. We're only third favorite. That's disastrous, but we only need to come in third. Second is fine. We survived. We're in survival mode right now in this career. Because, you know, ideally you're building a team trials runner and you're not really thinking about your career, but if you don't complete your career, it's not going to be a very good team trials runner in the first place. Probably don't need to buy skills for Unity Cup. I think we can just skip that. We have a full team of C rank runners. We're still pretty favored for these, and given that we drew the first round, I'm probably going to take top for every single other round just to keep building our attributes as much as possible. Beautiful 4-in-1. Alright, senior year, this is the year where it all comes together. He said, reassuring himself that everything is going to be okay. Let's just see like a couple triple speeds, and we're so in there. It's not a great start. 2, 1, 1, a wit. We're going to get energy back in late January because of the raffle. I'm fine taking this stamina. It puts McQueen to burst, and then it also kicks her to gold for rainbow stamina trainings. Tissues is exactly what I would expect from this run so far. I can't even be disappointed. And then we're also, for Valentine's, probably going to miss our first fan threshold too. Yeah, we're nowhere close. But we finally get our first burst on speed. Don't even look at anything else, just click on it, because you know you want it. It also gets Taiki ready to burst. I would love to burst on speed again, if you would permit me. Sure. It's not a great speed training, not a great stam training. I don't want to burst on power. I have to burst on speed. I think this is a recreation just so I can patch mood up and maybe get an energy recovery out of it. I just want to be at great to maximize the stats we're getting. That's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Claw Machine is going to be even further energy recovery. I see no gold flashes, so I'll just grab whatever's close. Freak, this is you. That's literally you. Like a different you, but still you. Good start. That's a gold. That's a second gold. I'll go for the gold that's furthest away. That's you again, Creek. It's all you. I'm gonna get like 4 of herself for plushies. Sure, man. No golds. Guess we'll just grab the close one. A single cafe. You know what? That's actually a pretty good crane game. I don't think it's going to be Rainbow Victory. For max rewards, yeah, it's just a normal U1. But that's still pretty good. So more energy back, a hint for straightaway recovery, which we might use. Guts up is whatever. I'm desperate enough for speed that I might take a single rainbow here. It's slightly worse than... It's actually a lot worse than stamina, but I need the speed to actually finish this career. So we're taking an objectively worse training here because I actually don't think that I could finish the career with stats the way they are now. It's not a position you want to find yourself in an average career, but it's a position that we found ourselves in today. And then this, I really, really need to save these bursts for speed specifically. The wit is not very good. I think this has to be a full rest. And then we're into Osaka High, which we only have to come top 3 in. There's not super high stakes here. I don't think I have anything super cheap to take. I don't want to... So I could, if I wanted to improve my results in career, take medium straightaways. But my goal is not to win Creek's career. My goal is to build a long Team Trials runner. And medium straightaways doesn't do anything for longs. So we're not going to take it, even if it costs us the career, because this career is a little bit of a wash right now anyway, if we're being honest, and we're probably going to run it back in another video just to improve on this, because I know that this deck can probably perform better. We'll take our inspiration. We're going to get FanFest after this. We're also not going to get a unique level up from FanFest, but that's okay. Late Surger S is not something we're going to use in this run, but it is interesting. Just like... Okay, that's actually probably a wit. This is not a good speed training. It's literally just Halo there. It's 20 speed, 7 power for 20 energy. I know this deck can do better. And if this deck can't do better, then that's a consequence of the run RNG being bad, and we'll just live with it. But I know there's a better result in this deck somewhere. So we'll take the wit. We'll work on our spirit training. I'll happily try and take extra energy out of this event. Sure, good enough. And I would just love to see like a triple rainbow on speed, maybe, if such a thing exists. This is, again, just top 3. We should be able to scrape together a top 3, even if we don't win. Number 2 favorite is about what I would expect. A late start is about what I would expect. But this is still fine positioning. It's also worth noting, by the way, this is the Spring Tenno, which is probably the most difficult G1 race that you're going to need to run in a career, because I believe it's the longest G1 race that you need to run in career. It's not going to be a problem for this creek, because this creek is at like 550 stamina right now or something like that, and has an innate recovery skill. But it is a very difficult race to win if you are coming into it with under 500 stamina and no recovery skills. The safe target that you're looking for is usually something like 600 if you want a good shot at actually winning it. And I have seen a lot of careers ended by people who just don't know how much stamina you need to finish longer races, who come into a spring 10 with like 450 and get absolutely destroyed by the length of this race. So Creek here should be fine. We're hoping for a unique activation here. She's in good position in the second half of the race. This should hit her criteria that she needs to activate it. And that's just going to be extra padding on top of what is already really good stamina. But even without that activation, I think she has... Yeah, beautiful. Okay. I think she has a reasonable shot at finishing this race without that activation, but with it, I'm feeling very confident that she has enough stamina. And at this point, we're just hoping that everybody else behind her passes away and doesn't have the stamina to finish the race, because most of the NPCs don't. If you've ever been doing a career and you see a Super Creek win this race by distance and you come in second, it's usually a stamina thing. But in this case, we're the Creek, and I don't see like an Agnes Tachyon here, so I don't think anybody else is really going to be built for the stamina to survive. And all of these NPC runners that are dropping back out of the field right now are all of the NPC runners who do not have the stamina to start late race. We do, which is why we're still taking off. Tamamo Cross probably also does. I mean, everybody else at the front of this field still does, but we're just going to have more stamina than anybody else in this race, and I think we're going to let that carry us to victory. Feels good. Actually, Tamamo's kind of fast. Hold on. No, we're fine. Never mind. It's a trick of the camera. Feels good to win a G1. Senior year, late April, totally normal time to win your first G1 in a career. Take me to 75. We may yet hit the 120,000 threshold at the end of the year. I probably need to run like the Japan Cup. I'll see if I can find an opportunity to do it just to get it leveled from 1 to 2. Okay, we got 4 turns until summer break. We have a burst on speed. I want to consume it. That's not a good speed training. We're doing this to eat the burst before we get to Unity Cup and to level our facilities. Plan X is a sprint skill. No way we're using that this run. A single rainbow is so disappointing. That's a good stamina training, though. I think I take that. Just because we don't have any of our facilities to 4 yet, which is usually a good indication that you haven't leveled your spirit trainings as much as you could be. And this is a lot of spirit training progress, so let's take that, even though our speed is still really suffering. And then I would love to wit here and then rest. That's not a great stamina training. That's a good wit training. None of this looks better. I think I'm fine taking a wit here. And then we rest late June, unless we have a really good training, and then we just rest in summer break. I don't think that's better than a rest, because it's only a single rainbow and there's no other support card there. I don't think that's better than a rest. I don't think that's better than a rest, and there's no way Guts will be. We take a rest here. We come into the summer break with full energy, and we hope that we see like our first double, or maybe even could a man possibly hope for a triple rainbow? Could such a thing potentially exist among us? Because I don't think we've seen anything more than a single rainbow yet. Good 4-1. Even with Creek struggling, I think our Unity Cup has been fine. Like, we've been okay building stats. Our team rank is B right now, which is like a little low going into summer break, but it's not that bad. This is actually a halfway decent power. A stamina. They still don't exist, but I'll still take it. We would like to wit next turn, and then train late August. Team rank A. So we're on track for like Unity Cup stats. This is actually gonna be, all of these trains are bad. Every single... This is not worth it because it means we can't train next turn. I'm going to rest now. Oh my god. I'm gonna take the whip. Was it the last video where I was saying I can't wait until I get a low roll out of this deck so that I can, like, walk through interesting decision points when RNG is not working with you? Because, man, RNG is not working with us this run. I'll take 10 energy guaranteed out of this. We're almost capped, so we don't need the slow metabolism. I don't really want 20 power, 20 skill points, 2 mood. We're already at great, and power's not my core stat right now. Just give me the energy back. Let me find a way to spend it. Our first good spirit training for speed of the run. It's happening. We're manifesting the reality that we want to live in ourselves. Hold on. Okay, never mind. No, it was a fluke. We're probably back to spinning our wheels on wit here. None of those trainings look amazing. That's not unsurprising with the way this run has been going. This might be a recreate. That's a good wit, though. You're so close to the end of the run. I think we might just survive on good mood for the rest of the run, because that's a good wit. Do we have any interesting skills in here yet? No, and we don't need the recoveries. We have more than enough stamina to finish the rest of this career, so I don't need to buy the recoveries until the end. None of the gold skills that we wanted to get out of our support cards have manifested either, which is not amazing. But we still have 6 turns for them, 3 turns for them to manifest. Single speed. My old friend. So we're looking to train and then rest, probably. Okay, a gold. Holy cow, they do exist. A double rainbow. Holy cow, they do exist. If that training failed, I may have actually never published this video. I may have just, like, deleted it and pretended it never happened. But we're okay. What am I passing up on? Nothing that bad. Okay, good. Give me a rest. I would love a plus 70. Oh, we're finally lucky. It took the whole run, but we're finally lucky. Also, we missed our fan threshold again, so we just never leveled our unique. Okay, we've got something here now. We can finish this run. Let it be a lesson to you. If you've ever gotten so mad at a career that you've just ended it early, you can always usually salvage something out of it. There was a point at the end of Classic Year where it did not look like we were going to finish this career at all. Is this a long Unity Cup? Is that why I have to watch this? It might be. Maybe we've never run in a long Unity Cup finals before. Maybe all of our opponents will simply not have enough stamina to finish. It's possible. Late start. Oh, man. What a game. Uma, what a game. If it sounds salty, I am not salty. I think actually it's very funny. And this is... When I was first starting, I would get so mad at some careers because I didn't know what I was doing, but then I'd get like a good spark roll at the end of the run, and then you're like, oh, all is forgiven. Actually, this run was cracked. I'm so happy that I played this game today. So it's never over until it's over. I'm very sure that we can finish this career. I'm very sure that we can win this career. It's miles off of the team trials runner that we were hoping we would generate out of it. However, there is always the chance that we could just get busted sparks out of this run. Our speed is above 600, which means we could potentially roll 3-star speed. Our stamina is above 600, which means we could potentially roll 3-star stam. I don't think our power is going to get there, but I haven't seen it recently. It's possible. And in fact, if we're really close to getting our power over 600, it might be something that we prioritize. That is a little Kokon that's moving very quickly. Like, way quicker than anybody else on my team. So, hopefully... well, hold on. Matikane is kind of quick. Hold on. No, there's no shot. She was in there for a while, but there is no shot. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so we're not winning the Unity Cup this round either. That is a brutal beatdown. I believe that costs us our gold skill at the end of the run. What an interesting speed training. We could still hit 600 power. Let's see how we wind up here. If we get 3 good speed trainings, I think we're in this. Okay. So far, so good. We want to be a team trials runner. More stam is not going to hurt. If I could get to 700 and a gold and like 3 whites, I'd be feeling okay. It's not ideal, but I'd be feeling okay. Pace Chaser Savvy is a nice pickup too. So we're going to wind up at probably 700 speed, 700 stam, 600 power. That's not a horrible stat line. It's not where I wanted to be for a long. But it is like the highest stamina runner we're going to have by a very wide margin. 15, single speed. An okay wit. I'll gamble on a 15 at the end of a run, sure. Sure, man, sure. Sure thing. Another hint of pace chase. You know what? Not bad. There's something to this deck. Our RNG on this run has been disastrous relative to the Daiwa Scarlet run that we did last time. I feel so much more confident in this deck's ability to produce stats. Remember when you're looking at this final stat line that we somehow cobbled together a runner that has like 650 speed without ever seeing a triple rainbow and only seeing a single double rainbow. This was a very, very bad run RNG-wise, and that stat line doesn't look horrible for a long runner considering the cards that we have to work with. So how do we want to expand on that? We'll take Adrenaline Rush. It's not a great recovery. And we'll probably go into why it's not a great recovery in the next video. I'll do like a little 5-minute spiel on like why stamina matters and the effect that stamina has. Adrenaline Rush has the ability to trigger too late, where your runner has already entered late race and gone, oh no, I don't have enough stamina to actually finish this race. I can't accelerate right now. And then Adrenaline Rush triggers, but you already wasted your acceleration. So I'm still going to take it. It's a gold skill. It's a stamina recovery. It's not perfect, but we're not currently in the business of building perfect runners. Like Pace Chaser Savvy is just a nice Pace Chaser skill. And then we're looking for like long recovery, Pace Chaser recovery, recovery skill. And can I afford another rank of Pace Chaser? I'll do that. You really can't have too much recovery on a long runner if you're just starting. Once you've got a good deck, you can have too much recovery on a long runner. But for the purposes of us building team trials as our 5th runner ever, there's no such thing as too many blue skills. Okay, we're not going to get good sparks either. That's fine. This is a serviceable long team trials runner. We could absolutely generate a better runner than this with better RNG. And we probably will at some later time in this playthrough, but we're not going to do it right now. For now, we're just going to slaughter in. So take me to my team trials team. Get rid of this gold ship. And put this creek in instead. We're going to run our pace even though we have late S. And that is now our first full list of team trial runners done. So what are we working on for the next 5 days? Well, we're working on a second runner for each slot. We need to build a second dirt. It's going to be Haru specifically because that's the only dirt runner we have. We're going to build a second long. That's going to be Agnes Tachyon. We're going to build a second sprint. I think it's probably going to be King Halo, which is going to be interesting. That's probably the first career we're going to run that we have a reasonable chance of failing out of. And then mile and medium, I don't know. We'll look at it. I think I might try like a weird mile Matikane here because she is mile C and we have mile sparks. Medium, we could put anybody there that we want. There's a lot of medium runners. Let's do one team race just to see how Creek does in that long slot. And if we're going to get a reward with every win, I'll spend a parfait on that. We already have a couple people in good mood, but let's bump everybody up to great just so we can maximize the amount of reward boxes we're getting. The long is a 3,000. The medium is on the short side. We'll see how we go. Good win. Win, lose, win, lose. I want to look at that 3,000 meter, though, and see if that gold chip was anywhere close to the amount of stamina that they need. Race results. Distance? How much you want to bet? 870 stam? No golds. On the other hand, 739, 2 golds, 4 whites. This is stamina distance, or stamina difference, and in fact, I think I want to watch it, just to emphasize. Remember, this is only a 3,000 meter. There are 3,200, 3,400, and 3,600 meter longs. In the grand scheme of things, a 3,000 meter long is kind of average. And a gold chip with 800 stamina was not able to finish the race, while our Creek does. So let's see exactly mechanically how that works. Is that a Pace Chaser gold chip? What is she doing up there? Okay, there it is. there's the pace down. Creek is rushed, but it's deterministic. We already know the outcome of this race. We win by distance. So even though Creek rushed, it still didn't matter. We get our good positioning bonus. Nice recovery. The one thing I'm curious about is whether we activate Adrenaline Rush, and if we do, where it activates. Because Adrenaline Rush activates specifically when you have 30% health or less remaining. And that gives us a clue for what our stamina threshold kind of looks like for finishing this race in general. If it never activates, that either means we failed the wit check for it, which is possible, or we never actually drop below 30% health, which is interesting. So we're halfway through. Position keep is over now. Our rival's gold chip does look like it's leading the late surger and end closer pack, so their positioning is as good as it could possibly be. There's a warning shot going off. Here's our unique recovery for a big chunk of stamina back. We've beaten the NPC runners, but the gold chip is the thing we're worried about, and you can see the velocity picking up. They're the number 2 runner at the top of the screen. But my prediction is, when we hit late race, that gold chip is going to look at the amount of distance left in the race and go, I can't actually finish this. In fact, it looks like every other runner in the race has come to the same realization. This is not our Super Creek's acceleration. Remember, our Super Creek only has about 500 power. This is purely the difference between our Creek getting to late race and going, okay, I have enough to finish now, and everybody else behind us looking at the amount of distance left in the race and going, I can't finish this. There's the adrenaline rush trigger, so that's us dropping below 30%. In this case, it did not even factor into her calculations. She hit late race and she said, I have enough stamina to finish, I'm just gonna go. And that is the difference that stamina makes. So, whether you want to take the philosophy of building runners who can handle shorter distance races, I mean, look at the velocity skills on this gold ship, right? Professor of Curvature, Straightaway Adept, Killer Tunes won't trigger because this is long TT and that's a medium. Pressure will trigger, Umastand will trigger. All of these will trigger and increase their velocity, and I'm pretty sure they have more speed than we do too. 750 versus 709, but we're built for stamina. And long team trials is purely a game of survival. So that's why we're going so hard on stamina when we're putting these long distance team trials runners together, is because it makes a huge difference until everybody else around you also starts hitting stamina cap. But if you can hit stamina cap and the people around you can't, it's basically free wins. Let's go take care of our daily races. Let's go take care of our final daily shop. And let's go spin the roulette wheel a few times. And then we'll be closing up shop. I'm happy that I'm getting the duration of these videos down a little bit. We're currently at 1 hour 26 minutes. We'll probably be done before 1 hour 30 minutes, which is perfect. We'll see if we can continue to get those closer to about an hour. Wait, is that just a one spin? Hello. Give me a spin until the next bingo line. There we go. Oh, we hit pity on the card. Oof. Okay. So there's our first bingo card done. That's going to get us our first copy of Marvelous Sunday. We're on to card 2 now. That's going to give us our second copy of Marvelous Sunday when we hit pity on it. It's also going to give us our third and fourth, and then when we get to 400,000, that'll be our fifth copy. Reasonably sure that we can do that. I think we're making okay progress. We're making like 40,000 a run, 45,000 a run. There's 15 days in the event, so we should be bang on target to actually finish that, although we're probably not going to go much beyond it. But that's pretty good for considering we're only doing 1 run a day. Claim all of our dailies, keep our carrot income. Claim all of our main quest progress, claim all of our special quest progress. We'll start working on these after we finish our team trials runners. There is some really nice stuff in here. We've got an SSR guaranteed. We've got another SSR guaranteed. Would love to get my hands on those, but I just want to work on my team trials team first to make sure that we're hitting promotion line every single week. That's going to be a great source of carrot income for us, and it's definitely the thing that I personally would prefer working on first. We're approaching 10,000 carrots. We might be in range to pull on a banner in a few weeks maybe, which would be nice. It would do a lot of work to shore up the support cards we've got currently. But until then, I think I'm pretty comfortable pushing to team trial class maybe 4 with the deck that we've got currently before we start to hit our ceiling. And who knows, there might be some other events, there might be some giveaways that advances us to pulling on a banner again soon. So, till then, I've been Chef. If you're enjoying the Uma playthroughs, do make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, do all that other stuff that helps the algorithm out. If you have questions mechanically about how the game works that you would like me to clarify in the start of an episode, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you want to hear more about. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day.